Good morning, traders. Welcome to this update on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris from Elite Currency. Before we take a look at the euro dollar, wanted to let you know about our special sponsorship. Go to our website, elitecurrency.com, and click on services. Click on providers, then on sponsorships, and you'll see a couple of great offers. One of them is from Monfex. Check it out. You get ECS Live for 6 months with a great discount. I think it's for free actually, and 25% discounts here on our EAs, DCA and London Open Advanced EA. So that's great. So definitely recommend that. So that's how you can find it. elitecurrency.com/sponsorship. All right. With regard to the euro dollar, let's take a look at the weekly candle. We're getting now into the second half of December. So far, we had a very strong continuation above 120. As expected, because we were looking at, or of course, at the fact that this could be an impulse up. So far, very strongly moving up after a very choppy and slow kind of falling type of wedge here, indicating the end of that dollar uptrend. And so far, we're seeing indeed the wave kind of 1, 2, and a wave 3, and a 4, and a 5 pattern. So eventually, some type of ABC pattern might take place. Or maybe even more, let's see. But some kind of retracement down is likely, I think. But at what point, let's put the fib from here to here. And one of those levels could be the 88.6 fib at around 123.35, as you can see. So still a little bit of space maybe left. On the daily chart, we're looking at a potential wave 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's put the fib from here to here. There we go. We might have completed a 5 wave in 3. So this could be a wave 4, and waves 4 typically retrace to shallow fibs, like the 23.6 fib. Actually, it's already bouncing at that level at 121.46, or at a 38.2 fib, like 120.70, or typically not deeper than the 50 fib, which is very close to that round psychological level of 120. So all those 3 levels could be the bouncing spot if this is a wave 4. Well, waves 4 are typically choppy and corrective, but they don't have to be. It's a guideline. It's not a must. It's not a rule. It could be a triangle pattern, a bull flag. Those are very typical and usual for waves 4, but it doesn't have to be. So let's see. But in any case, it cannot break below the top of wave 1, which is around 120, I believe. Or is it? No, sorry, it's a bit lower. It's 119.20. So price cannot go below that. Otherwise, this 5-wave pattern is invalidated. So that's the key level. So price neatly staying above these long-term moving averages on the 21 on the daily chart here, the 21 EMA, and I think that will stay that way. But we are seeing some pullback. So let's take a look at that on the lower time frame. You can see that price had a nice wave 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we had a nice 5th wave up towards 122.50, 122.80, as I mentioned in the video last week, Wednesday. So that indeed taking place, that target reached, but also the bearish bounce was reached. Hang on, sorry for that. The bearish bounce was reached at that zone as well, as you can see. Or let me rephrase that, the upside reached the target, and at the target, price made a bounce to the downside. That's better formulated. At 122.75, price falling, I guess, probably more than 100 pips in the meantime, 150 pips, 140 pips from that target zone. So this looks like a wave A to me. I think there could be a bounce up for B, and then there will be probably a move down for C. What type of ABC? I don't know. It could be a zigzag in theory, although that's less likely. I think it's probably going to be more like an ABC flat, and the price will maybe go to the 38, maybe, or maybe that's too deep already, but could be. Or it could just go flat like this, or it could build a triangle like this. So price is expected to stay, I would say, for the moment, very likely to stay above this bottom, the 38, the 120.70, the 144 EMA, the WIS7, maybe even not even go that deep, right? Maybe just hang around here and then break to the upside. Main target 123.35 for the moment for that wave 4-5 pattern. Let's take a look now at the hourly chart. We see pretty intense move down earlier today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern looks finished. So that could indicate a zigzag if it is a 5-wave pattern. Looks so at the moment to me. So that case, if it is a zigzag pattern, we might get a shallower fib bounce, maybe at the 50 or 61.8 fib. If there is any bearish reaction, that could indicate a zigzag. If it goes deeper, then yeah, maybe it's not a zigzag. I mean, I would say that for the moment, there is a good chance of a bounce. So I would definitely keep an eye on the 50, 61.8 fib zone there at 122, 122.20 for a bearish bounce lower like this, and then up again. Let's take a look at the hourly chart and maybe the 50-minute chart. So on the 50-minute chart, I would suspect that this is resistance. I would expect price to move lower, maybe make a bull flag, then move up in that zone, and then I would expect bearish wicks in the zone if this is a zigzag for that bounce. If there are no wicks, price keeps pushing up, then it's probably more of an ABC flat or triangle pattern, not a zigzag. So that is, this 50, 61.8 fib zone is key to understand if it's a zigzag or not. All right, so let's see if we get a bounce here or a little bit higher, and then a move up, and how far how far price moves up. Eventually, though, whether it's at these fibs or whether it's at these fibs, I do expect a bearish bounce again and a kind of expansion of that wave 4. All right, pound USD. Yeah, broke to the upside, I should say. Now making a sturdy retracement as well. And we had a good bounce here. And a good break, a good bounce here, and a good break. And that break moving up nicely. But this fall very intense as well. And that's not untypical for the pound. It does like to move volatile, with strong volatility in both directions. But at this moment, it looks like we're at an inverted head and shoulders level. And I think it's more at support at this moment as well, like with the euro dollar. Now, this push definitely looking impulsive, more so than the euro dollar. Euro dollar does look like a 5-wave, but it doesn't have that intensity. I think the pound dollar does. Now, that doesn't mean it cannot fly up as well again, even because it's at support. It's with 7, and it could make an 8. But it seems like an ABC pattern would be very likely in this case due to the strong downside. And I would suspect a bigger ABC pattern here to take place. Let's put a fib from here to here. And 61.8 fib looks like a good target. I think 50-61 zone. But in any case, that's for later. For now, I think there's a fair chance of a bounce, because if we put a fib from here to here, it's at the favorite 88.6 fib bounce. So despite the strong push, I think there's a fair chance of price moving up here. Now, that's always a little bit scary against such a momentum to the downside. So I would be waiting for more kind of confirmation of price action to confirm that. Would definitely want to see some slower price action here and a second break above the 20 MA before I would even think about that, because it is risky. But otherwise, price action, considering this and the bounce and the 88 and the previous bottom, I think some kind of rally into or retracement back into that previous resistance zone right here, around this area here, 133.30, 133.70 is likely. That's where we could get another bounce, and then maybe a stronger push up into the long-term moving averages. That seems likely to me at this moment. It could close the gap as well, of course. That's the same with the euro dollar, by the way. I should mention that that is a possibility that price will rally until the gap is closed, but I wouldn't necessarily, that's not a factor that will seal the deal. Let's say that it's not the only factor that I'm considering. It could close the gap, though, of course, and then bounce to the downside. What if there's a bear flag here? Then a bearish break is becoming more likely. I would need to see a bearish flag here before I think a push below 132 has a better chance and has better odds than than now. That's it, I guess. At the moment, we got more live webinars coming up. One with me, one with Nena today, another one with me tomorrow. So a lot of things, of course, to check out on our website. And feel free to browse around and discover all of our goodies. Not only Forex and CFD, not only automated trading, but also options, education, sponsorships, of course, as I mentioned. We got a lot of ebooks and free indicators, extra indicators. So a lot of good things to check out. But in any case, wish you good trading, and I'll be back on Wednesday with a new video. Cheers. Bye-bye.